Barter have two tools that are going to help you to interpret a situation and identify the needs of an incident, but then also as a rescue team to actually understand the reasoning behind the methodology, the techniques, and the way that you've approached that incident. For some time now, you may have been aware of the foundation module that Barter produced called the 10 Steps to Situational Awareness. This is a tool which will help people to interpret a foreseeable or an active incident involving animals and determine the different variables that are at play and ensure that you've got the right resources from within or from external to your organisation. We'd now like to introduce our SELECT model, which is a useful tool for both briefing an incident that's occurring and also for debriefing an incident and thinking about learning that can be applied to future training. Right, so we're going to go through the 6 elements of the SELECT model now, starting with safety. Really important. So we need to make sure that the safety measures that we put in place are proportionate to the risks that we've identified and the nature of the risks, and that everybody on scene has that shared situational awareness and joint understanding of the risks that we've identified. Secondly, the environment. Environment is critical because this will support control in sending the right resources to an incident. It will impact on our ability to resolve it. And so we need to consider what are the environmental factors, and how do they impact on the complexity of the incident and the skill sets that we need to operate effectively within that incident or actually to achieve the rescue itself. Let's think about the leadership at these incidents. We need to make sure that we've got the right leadership in place. We need to ensure that they're working together effectively and that they've got shared situational awareness. And of course, these incidents may happen across jurisdictions and in various different environments, and we need to make sure that the leadership of this situation is clearly understood and clearly put in place. Let's think about equipment. Is the equipment fit for purpose? Is it achievable in an acceptable time frame? And is it adaptable to the various tasks that may be required? Now, really fundamental one, the casualty. We need to make sure that we are undertaking a casualty-centred rescue and that we have the sufficient and correct veterinary resources on scene to allow us to treat the casualty but also to carry out the rescue. Now, we have a whole toolbox of techniques available to us for animal incidents. What's really important is that we work with our veterinary professional to determine the most appropriate technique for the animal based on its medical and physiological needs. So, SELECT model then can be used as a briefing or a debriefing tool. It can be used effectively to do an after-action review by the teams that attended the incident, but equally it can be used as a tool by the instructors within a service to identify any training needs or good practices that the teams are actually carrying out in their duty. So what we would recommend is that you encourage people to take incident footage and that you put into place a process where they can use the SELECT model to determine learning outcomes.